A local businessman is teaching lessons to students that are important inside and outside the classroom. For his work at Jackson School, Saúl Serna is our Person of the Week.
Actions speak louder than words.
Local real estate executive Saúl Serna coaches company CEOs about character and motivation. Now he's taking his message to students at Jackson School, which is trying to boost achievement.
There is no one in the world that knows you better than you know yourself.
The 12-week program is based on a book written by Serna in English and Spanish called Just Be. The kids follow examples of two bees, Poppy and Honey. Serna chose bees because the little creatures account for 80% of our food supply.
Physically, they're not supposed to fly because their bodies are too heavy for their wings, but nobody has told them so. So I chose bees because you can be all that you want to be if you just focus on your potential.
Jackson's fifth graders first went through the program 4 years ago.
Be like yourself. Don't try to be like everybody else.
To be grateful, to always be happy.
I'm patient because I'm not very patient.
Now they're taking what they've learned to mentor second graders.
Showing the kids you could do good in the hallway and being good so they could be just like you and want to be just like you.
The second graders are listening.
Be respectful and show respect for others. Be a leader. Be nice and lots of stuff.
And little by little, they start grasping the idea of good behavior. We have a culture of compassion, of understanding, of respect.
Serna believes success in the business world can't match what's accomplished here at Jackson.
I don't know what you can do when you walk the hallways and a kid hugs you and said, "I wish you were my dad." Or when they send you notes saying, "Please don't ever leave me." Then you know you're making a difference.
And for making a difference at Jackson School, Saúl Serna is our Person of the Week. The Just Be program is looking for corporate sponsors so it can expand to other schools, plus a celebration dinner is taking place December 18th. Call 391-9383 or visit JustBeTV or poppyandhoney.com.
I'm joined now by Saúl Serna, Jan Mansfield, and Sue Hollander. We are talking about the Just Be program, which is actually based on this book right here. Thanks to all of you for coming in today.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about the program for people who really haven't heard a lot about it.
Okay. The Just Be program is a character building and diversity coaching book for children. So it is a 12-week program that has 12 basic lessons about building character, diversity, acceptance, gratefulness.
What kind of lessons are we trying to teach these kids?
Well, the lessons that we teach them are, first of all, to be grateful, to be yourself, to accept others and themselves for who they are, to express compassion, and to respect each other and the environment. So those are the lessons we teach them in the book.
Now, this is a program that's really been implemented in schools across the country, including in Jackson Elementary right here in Rockford. Right. Sue, I know that you were one of the teachers in the first year of the program. What was that like for you?
It was very exciting to be a part of this new program. I could see a change in the students' lives almost immediately. And this year we're working with fifth graders also, and they're mentoring our second graders. It's such a joy. The other day Saúl said, "What was your best day teaching?" And I said, "I think it was yesterday when I was in that classroom, that fifth grade classroom, because I know that we've made a difference in the lives of these kids. It's internalized in their thinking."
So this is being taught in kids grades 2nd through 5th, and in 5th grade they become mentors as well?
Absolutely. The way the program is designed is in 2nd grade they learn the lessons. We do maintenance in 3rd grade, in 4th grade, and when the kids become 5th graders, then we coach them again on how to become mentors, and they adapt the 2nd grader and be role models and mentor them on the character building.
The other thing we should mention is that this isn't just kids and teachers who are involved. This is also the parents that you've gotten involved in this.
Correct.
We have a home connection chart that we send home each week with the lesson that they are working on, and we get a parent response back, and this year they have been overwhelmingly positive about what they do, not only what the child does, but what they do as a family. And we also made some home visits to families, and it was just outstanding to hear what a difference it made in their lives.
Yeah, what are they saying? I mean, what are these parents, these students saying to all of you about this program and what a difference it's made in their households?
The grandma?
Yeah, we've had just, you couldn't even list them all. It's been so much, but I remember a few that were very specifically heartwarming, and one was actually, it was at a different school in Rockford, but a grandmother who her grandchild lives with her and her husband, and she had, when the book came home and the program, and they all are like, what is this? They're not familiar with it, you know. And she said, so she sat him down at the kitchen table and started to read the book with him, and the next thing she knew, her teenage child was there, and then her husband sat down, and they found that they were all sitting reading the book together. In fact, she made a comment that I thought was pretty powerful. She said, I really think that this is a children's book for adults.
I know, and that's something that Sue, actually, you mentioned as well, that this is a book that adults can relate to it to as well, and they can find the issues, the lessons in here, and apply them to their own lives as well.
They're simple, basic truths of how to live a happy life, and if you follow the simple truths, you can be successful.
Now, Jan, I know you're with Century 21, one of the corporate sponsor, the main corporate sponsor of this program. Tell me why you teamed up for this.
Well, this is my husband. He's a little pushy. But actually, we have always been, I mean, I opened the company 30 years ago, and we've always been very active in trying to give back to the community, because I think that's important. And when we saw this, by the way, the background of this, Saúl is a business coach. That's what he does. He's coached corporations and like GM, and I mean large corporations, and he's worked with adults and saw how coaching them transformed their lives. And that was actually the purpose of writing the book to begin with. And of course I was involved in seeing all of that. And then whenever, I mean, we also know that if you can start with a child, I mean, to change the world, you got to start with the kids. You got to start with the children level. And that is, he decided to write the book, and once it was written, then our mission was, you know, how do we get this out to more people so that they can understand it and benefit from it. And so we decided to pick one of the schools and be the corporate sponsor, and it involved some financial contribution, and not a lot, but we put a lot of manpower into it too, because I think you don't really see the benefits until you get in there at some of these things and start to see how it's changing these kids, and how they're appreciative, and their whole attitude and how they treat each other is all changed. It's transformed. It's wonderful.
Well, guys, we do have to take a very quick break, but then we're going to be right back to talk a little bit more about the program and really how all of you got involved. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
The first step to a new you. Step to a new you.
Welcome back to 13 Cares. Once again, we are talking about the Just Be program, which has been implemented across the country, including at Rockford's Jackson Elementary School. Thanks again to all of you for coming in today. Now, Saúl, I do want to talk a little bit about your background. You actually came here from Colombia as an exchange student your senior year in high school.
Yep. I was in 1981, 1982, I went to Harlem High School and completed, I graduated from high school. And I went back to Colombia, finished my studies in the university, and immediately came back to the United States. I love this place. I came back here, and it wasn't that easy. You know, I came, and the first job, the only job I could find, was mopping floors and washing dishes and in a restaurant. And I decided to be the best busboy, the best dishwasher, and then I got promoted to manager in the restaurant, and started my career later on in real estate. And I worked at Century 21 Country North, and started my career. About 1997, I became the #1 agent in the real estate industry in the country for the Hispanic market. And I think if I can do it, anybody can do it.
And why start this program? I know your wife was talking a little bit before about how you were a business coach, and you thought, let's start with kids, since kids are really the ones who make the difference. How do you just decide to go and do something like this, start this whole program? It seems like a really big undertaking that's become this huge success, but a kind of daunting task at the beginning.
It was. I do a lot of corporate coaching, and I coach business executives, and I coach business owners and real estate people, and after one of those coachings, I realized the transformation I was making in their lives. And I realized that some of the lessons I was teaching, probably they should have learned them when they were in third grade, second grade. So one day I decided maybe I should write a coaching book for children. And I wrote this book, and about a year later, we put it all together. And same principles I apply with the CEO of a corporation, I apply with a teacher in second grade.
Well, the other thing we should mention that the book, it is bilingual. It is in Spanish and English,
Yes.
so something for everyone, since there are plenty of students that speak more than one language.
Exactly, and especially today in our country, you know, about 22% of the children under 12 years old are Hispanic. So it would be nice for them to just have it in English and then flip it, and it's in Spanish automatically.
And Sue, you were saying that actually some of your students said they learned Spanish from reading the book.
There are a lot of words that they're picking up as we go along the way. And so it's been fun to hear them try to communicate in Spanish as well.
Now, Sue, you were a teacher the first year of the program. You've come back as a coach. How has your experience changed?
One thing I like to emphasize is what a coach does, because it's different than a teacher. A teacher can stand up and present a lesson, but a coach expects the action to come from the kids. You know, like the football coach can say a lot about how to play the game, but the kids are the ones that have to perform and internalize what the program means.
And where do you see the program going now? I mean, you said it's been now 4 years, very successful. Where do you go from here? Do you expand it? Do you try to just keep growing it at Jackson?
Well, our goal is to have this program implemented in every school in America and then move out of the world. Our goal is to have 3 million children coached by the year 2012 and 30 million children coached by the year 2020. We want to have the program in different languages, and I want to be able to have a classroom in which a child or the children can go online and see how a second grade class, fifth grade class is taught in another country. So we all become a world where it's sweet, you know, it's like a beehive. So I want to make sure that we understand cultural each other, and that regardless of the language that we speak, we learn to speak the language of respect and appreciation. That's what I want.
Now, are you looking for more corporate sponsors and more coaches to get involved in this as well?
Absolutely, and honey, as a corporation, we have been involved donating money, time, and energy. More important, we need people that cares. People that will go out there and work in the schools. And of course, we need financial support. We need sponsors, we need donors, because now that the program has evolved and is growing, we need to put the books, the posters, and of course, the people to help us. So.
We had spoken very early on with Dr. Thompson when he was here as head of the school board, and he supported it completely and was, by the way, at a lot of the events at the graduations and things like that. And so we need sponsors for the different schools locally and across the country. We actually have taken it to, we've been in Kenya and Africa and taken it to the classroom there, and in Mexico and in Colombia. We've been to a lot of different places. It's also going in New York, and we have a class in Chicago that's been going, well, as long as the one in Jackson, and they continue to do it every year. But it's the biggest challenge is getting enough people to understand it, to really get to know what it can do and to go forward with it. So we're looking for physical participation. We do have an event coming up on December 18th. That actually it has grown to the point at Jackson that we can't now. We've started having our graduations in the gym there, and it's not large enough to accommodate it. So we are taking it to a larger venue, and we do need some help with that.
Well, Jen, I don't mean to cut you off, but we are out of time. Thank you so much to all of you for coming in today. We'll be right back to wrap up the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My thanks to my guests today, and if you want more information, just go to justbe.tv or poppyandhoney.com. Thanks for watching.